Hey everybody, it's Saturday, exactly 3 weeks since we took models apart, and as you can see, we've moved it up here, and the only thing we're waiting on to do, a couple of little things. I got some more new spark plugs ordered because these are just too big and not flexible, and the boot is just not right to keep them off the header. So we got some of those ordered. We got some wire sleeves as well. We got our fan harness. I'll show you that in a minute. We got to tap into this, into our ECM here. Got to tap into that. Get some things tweaked out there. Nothing major, just some little details. And then we got to dent in the why can't I speak? We got to tap in the pipe for the steering shaft. We got a new 2 millimeter or 2 gauge wire for our alternator as well, just since with the extra drag of the fans, just to help out with less resistance. So let me put a pause here and we'll do a video on the wiring harness. They'll do a little video on the catch can that I've got that it should fit over here. Only bad thing about that is it'll kind of cover up our Strictly Performance logo there, which is kind of sad, but I think that maybe it'll help keep the intake a little bit cleaner. So let me get those two things set up and we'll take a look at them. Alrighty, so here is the wiring harness here. So we got a block just like it would have come out. Basically it is from a wrecked truck, and a guy named Scott, he takes them, he redoes all the wire, puts new loom on here, and sets them up with this extra pigtail for 2002 trucks, because the computer's already set to turn on the fans, but we just need to, an extra relay and so forth to make it work correctly. So got our relay, we've got our mount here to the battery, or to the power box, either way. So then we got to connect this green wire to number 42 on the blue side here of our PCM, and then we've got our 2 fan plugs. I'm going to have to do something a little bit different on mine, just because we've got the aftermarket style fans. So would have been ideal, but they don't really sell the other plug like this. These go directly into the fans, not another harness. So unfortunately we'll have to whack those off. It's kind of sad. And then we have a ground, so this will go kind of reverse. We'll put the box over here, fans, and then we'll ground this kind of over by the fans. So we're gonna dig in here and play a little bit, because if I remember correctly, this gets spliced in to the AC relay, if I'm correct. Let's see. Thankfully, this Scott, he had done all the AC relay right here, I believe. He had done all the write-up of the process as well, so that'll make it that much easier, I hope. So after we get that done, then we can get with Chris and get this thing tuned, which will be fun. So can't wait to drive it, get the bugs worked out. Maybe there won't even be too many bugs, I don't know. But yeah, so there is the harness. Put that to the side and pause the video and come back to the catch can here. Alrighty, so you've got the harness apart, or not apart, but so you remove this little bracket here, and then there's some clips for that main cover. And then you can slowly just arrange your wires. It's good to use 9/32 to remove that and just carefully pry this up. And the biggest thing is splicing in this wire into the harness. This goes to the AC relay right here. So this green wire is where we hook up our nice little blue wire from our harness. And then this runs to our PCM. So this is what I want to get done first. We're going to go ahead and try to solder that in, make sure it's a nice tight connection. We don't want this messing up and, you know, failing later. But it's really neat how this little bracket, it's all set up here for stock. These wires are right here will go back into this channel, and then this module fits right here, and then the cover go right over it, and it'll look just like stock. So I'm really glad, you know, spent a little bit extra and went this route so it looks correct. So I'm really enjoying it so far. Our positive cable is going to go right onto here with this bracket, it looks like. So we can match those on together, or we can just hook it up right to the battery. But with the angle, it really looks like the two can kind of just sit like this, thankfully. And that's going to come in this way. So really liking the way it looks so far. Pretty interesting. It's weird, I had this little, this wire here was all, I don't even know what it goes to, but it wasn't connected anymore. So now it's connected crudely. So once I get this where I like it, I'm going to move down here and carefully pry off this and put our wire in the 32. Then we'll run our wires. I've got to figure out, we got our basic connections here. Blue is power, I believe, and so forth. And what I think we'll do right now is just crimp these straight to our wires. And then we're waiting on some weather pack connections to come in the mail for a correct fit. So we'll run that, connect it here to this harness, and lock in over there at our ground. So moving along pretty well, thankfully. So hang in there, we'll chat it with you later. Alrighty, so we've got our joint here all soldered up. It's kind of ugly. I'm going to take some tape or heat sink to that, probably some tape for right now. And it looks like the best way, I was looking at how to route this wire, because here's the harness here, etc. Then it runs here. So I'm thinking I'm just going to take this wire and zip tie it to this, run it down to about right here, and then because this is coming down this way, and then just zip tie it here. But I'll probably try putting the cover on first and make sure, and then this wire comes down this way to here. But anyways, so we got the computer kind of finagled here, and you take out unscrew the 9/32 bolt here, then you use some couple little screwdrivers and pop open these little clips here, and then you follow the numbers like a dot to dot. So it's 50 50 50. So our last one here, it's kind of hard, I can't even really see it, but here it is right here, is 42. So we can take a we need to take these blue off here, I believe, so we can see, make sure it's pinned correctly. You got to take that off. But anyways, so we should be able to theoretically, we'll stick a little punch, little awl through that hole, and then we'll be able to slide this, put some silicone on it, and slide this through hole 42, and we just need to make sure it lines up with the rest of these clips here. So then we'll stick it back on and be ready to go. So it's definitely a new learning thing for me, but I think I'm kind of getting the hang of it to a degree. So kind of neat, good to learn new stuff. So all right, update. We got the green wire plugged in here, and the biggest thing is to make sure I put a little some silicone spray, and we punched it through. The big thing is just to make sure it comes all the way through this way. So then we can put our plastic cover back on. I went ahead and kind of ran our wire here. I need to run this back up into the sheath here a little bit, and then I think it kind of will tuck in. We can kind of zip tie it right here and connect that together. So, but yeah, slowly coming together. It's pretty neat. So, gonna put that back together. We'll be good to go. Thanks for watching. Oh, we finally almost have this finished. The wiring harness was actually really easy, so we've got that all finished up. Made sure that this wire goes where it was supposed to. Check with Brian, check with Scott, and that's exactly where it needed to go. So we got everything buttoned down there. We've got it loose. Yeesh. Stuff falling. We've got it loosely. Got it trailing over here, then tucked back in there, and then running along down the bottom. Got one zip tie there. And we went ahead and put the other harness, the horn is right down in there somewhere, and the bolt that holds that bracket is what I used to bolt on the ground for that side. So that's done. So the thing that took the longest, I mean, we got started, I don't know, 9:30, whatever. The thing that took the longest, that took a couple hours first time, get that wire plugged in and everything. But the thing that took the longest was this crazy header. And I guess that's just to be expected. My first time doing it, so a few things to learn. So anyways, my goal was to at least get it so you could slide a piece of cardboard through, and we finally do have that. It was really a pain to get figured out, but I think we got it. Ended up needing to use a pretty good size ball peen and just whack at it. Let me see if I can get the light just right here. Yeah, about right there you can sort of see the gap. Let me see. Alright. Yeah, so you can kind of see here what we're working with. Trying to get the gap there. Had to flatten it out some. Thankfully no holes are punctured. But just want to make sure that we can run this piece of cardboard. That's the tightest spot right there, obviously. But at least, we're not bumping. It'd have to be a pretty substantial rock, which is not, road. It's not right with that much flex, unless this is moving while the motor is moving, which is possible. We shouldn't have an issue. So had to beat out the top here too, so that curve would fit, and we've got that kind of same gauge. So theoretically, it shouldn't be an issue. We might have to whack at it some more. I did it while it was on the header. Obviously, it would be better not to do it while it was on the header, or while the header was on the vehicle. But first time. So if you get the Speed Engineering or the eBay lookalikes, really mock it up real good before you bolt it in all the way. So, but yeah, I'm gonna wrap up a few loose ends here, put a few bolts back where they need to be, and top off the coolant. I think that's the only thing that's low.